Starmer has told the UK must repeal hate speech laws to protect LGBTQ plus people or lose Trump's trade deal. Going to read into this more from The Independent, you guys. Let's go. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. This is Reganelite here with an article from The Independent with the headline that Sir Keir Starmer has told that the UK must repeal the hate speech laws and to protect LGBT plus people or lose the Trump trade deal. A good chance of agreement, says the Vice President JD Vance, but a source close to the administration said his concerns over Britain's hate speech laws are still a red line. Just a reminder, guys, if you haven't already, hit that like button and share across social media so others are notified of this video. Yeah, honestly, like, I'm going to just blatantly say it. JD Vance doesn't care about Britain. He doesn't care about the UK. He just wants to, we know that he doesn't even have an ounce of care about Europe or anything like that. He's quite a vile human being by some of the language and tone that comes out of this vice president. So I wouldn't take anything that this guy says with any certainty whatsoever. And it's and I want to stress this, that even though there's been a ruling recently, it's very, very important that we, unlike in America, unfortunately to say, or shall we say specifically the Trump administration, we must make sure that we protect LGBT plus people in the UK, all citizens, all people, regardless of their race, their religion, their skin color, their nationality, whatever that may be. Everyone must be looked after and their rights must be protected. It's really, really important. And we do have in my opinion, quite very good freedoms of speeches to a certain extent. Whenever I keep hearing people in the comments sometimes on my channel saying that people got arrested for tweets, those people who keep saying those people don't have half a brain, because if they did, they would know that those people who got arrested for tweets were inciting violence, were inciting hatred, were inciting to harm other people. And I don't know about you, you can't do that. You can't do that. Like, it's you can't be advocating the deaths of other people and think that that's okay for your freedom of speech in the UK. No, it's not. That's threatening somebody. And by right, you should be arrested for threatening somebody's life or implying in some way, shape or form that someone's life should be taken. That's your fault, okay? That's not that. So to try and justify like your freedom of speech as being subjugated in some way of shape or form is nonsense. Yeah, when you're advocating for somebody's life to be lost. You know, a prime example was what happened at the UK riots. Yeah, people tweeted and posted online on social media advocating for people to be burnt alive in an asylum hotel. That's what and that's why they faced criminal charges. That's why they got punished, because they wanted those people to die. They wanted those people to die. Okay, that's not okay. Okay, but obviously some people who do follow my channel and do comment obviously don't understand that. So, but there you go. So Sir Keir Starmer must embrace Donald Trump's agenda by repealing hate speech laws in order to get a trade deal over the line, a Washington source has told The Independent. The warning has come after US Vice President suggested a UK-US agreement may be close, with the White House working very hard on it. He told UnHerd, "I think there's a very good chance that yes, we'll come to a great agreement that is in the best interest of both countries." I don't buy it for 1 second, but you can take what you will from the Vice President. But a senior Washington figure who has provided advice for the administration claimed he is obsessed with the fall of Western civilization, including his views that free speech is being eroded in Britain, and that he will demand that the Labour government rolls back laws against hateful comments, including abusive targeted LGBT plus groups and other minorities, as a condition of any deal. The Independent was told the Vice President expressing optimism on a trade deal is a way of putting further pressure on the UK over free speech. If the deal does not go through, it makes Labour look bad. Mr. Vance's recent speech to the right-wing Heritage Foundation think tank was cited as an example of his views on Western culture and free speech being linked to securing an agreement. No free speech, no deal. It's as simple as that, the Washington source said. It's understood Britain has already offered to drop its proposed digital service tax as a means of getting a trade deal through, but the US wants to see laws on hate speech repealed, as well as plans for new online safety law dropped. Yeah, because they want us to put our children at risk, which is a red line in my opinion, and hopefully Labour will stick to that red line. Labour made it clear it's not prepared to go that far, Downing Street sources said. The subject is not a feature of the talks. However, the issue seems to be one of the main sticking points from the White House perspective. Talks began last month after Keir Starmer visited Mr. Trump in the White House and intensified earlier this month with a tariff announcement. While tariffs have been suspended for 90 days, the hope is that the deal can be done before they are brought into force. Downing Street is aiming not for a traditional trade deal, but one focused on growth industries of the future, such as biotech and artificial intelligence. Ministers insist this will not mean Britain has to accept imports of coronated chicken or beef or with hormones, because there have long been cited as concerns. However, the hope it will see most, if not all, tariffs removed between the two countries. While White House Trade Secretary Howard Lutnick has taken a leading role in the talks with US Business Secretary Jonathan Reynolds, the President announced at the start that Mr. Vance would take an overall lead in negotiations. UK sources have said he's been at the forefront of the tech sides of the talks. This has put the issue of free speech front and centre for Mr. Vance and his allies in getting a deal with the UK. And the issue has become a central problem in the UK-US relationship since the summer riots, when Mr. Trump's ally and ex-Twitter owner Elon Musk launched a horrific social media campaign against Sir Keir Starmer and his government, with people arrested over tweets. It continued when Sir Keir visited the White House for the first time since Mr. Trump took power and clashed with Mr. Vance in front of TV cameras in the Oval Office. The Vice President claimed that free speech was being undermined and also claimed that laws were being brought in to online safety were an attack on US tech giants. Most recently, the trial of Isabel Volden's spouse for silently praying outside an abortion clinic has become a major issue in the US, with Mr. Vance criticising the UK's legal system over the case. No, because women have the right to do what they want with their bodies. Like, I know this Trump administration doesn't want to give women rights to control their own bodies, but you know, this government, the British government, and the majority of the UK public believe that women should be able to decide what to do with their own bodies. So, I would tell you to go yourself, Vance, but yeah, you guys know what I mean. In his interview with UnHerd, the Vice President expressed optimism about the talks. He said, currently working very hard with Keir Starmer's government. The President really loves the United Kingdom. We love the Queen. He admires and loves the King. He's very important. This is a very important relationship. He's a businessman and a number of important business relationships in Britain, but I think it's much deeper than that. There's a real cultural affinity, and of course, fundamentally, America is an Anglo country. Meanwhile, Mr. Reynolds on Tuesday said it's been clear with US counterparts that he did not support Mr. Trump's approach on tariffs. But he just said there is a need for some instances to look at how to rebalance world trade to ensure greater fairness. I don't support the kind of approach to unilateral tariffs that the US has pursued. We've made it very clear to our US friends and colleagues, but there is still an issue as to how parts of trading works around the world. There is a need to look at how we can do that fairly, how we can consider in some cases countries are not operating the same rules that we might expect here in the UK. Now, let's be very, very clear here. Myself and the majority of people who watch my content or are part of my live streams, pretty much we all do not trust this Labour. Trust Labour. Well, I say most of them don't trust Labour anyway. But certainly do not trust this Trump administration to do anything fairly that is in interest, that is seen as fair or balanced in any way, shape or form, and I certainly do not. I also want to make it clear this idea that Britain is a Christian country of some sorts, or Christian nation, people need to get that out of their heads as well. We are a multicultural country. That is what we are. And if people don't like that, they're more than welcome to leave the UK. We will not go back to this idea that we are going to be a Christian-only country. That's never going to happen. We are a multicultural country, and that's how it should be. And everybody should be treated equally. And women's rights should be protected. So I really hope that they do not push or touch anything along those lines in any way, shape, or form. At least I hope not. But I know there's some people in the comments who have issues with those, but that's my positions on them. But what do you guys But for those who aren't crazies, what do you guys honestly think? What do you guys think about this whole free speech, repealing hate speech? I don't know what hate speech he's referring to, but if you want to take a shot at it in the comments below, feel free to do so. If you found this video interesting, informative, or in any way, shape, or form, hit that like button, share across social media, subscribe if you haven't too already. Do check out the Rumble and Patreon channels as well for exclusive content. And if you want to financially support me, hit that join button down below to join the YouTube membership as well for as little as 99p. So thank you all so much for watching, and I hope to catch you all very, very soon.